always something very interesting. On Mondays, we like to make it not too serious because, you know, on Mondays, everybody's just uptight and serious. And, you know, when it comes to Lagos, that is when you have the peak of traffic. But at the same time, you know, you just have to be at work because you enjoy what you do. Well, before we go into the show proper, as usual, we go for a short break. Then we go for the first tip for the day. So today, let's go for a short break right now and have our tip. Then we'll right back to the studio to get cracking on the show. Stay with us.
Proven ways to prevent back pain. Back pain is frustrating to deal with, and while there are different ways to recover from it, it is best to try and prevent it to avoid complications in the future. There are many simple steps to reduce the chances of getting back pain through various forms, including diet and exercise. This blog will explore some standard techniques to help you prevent back pain. Stay active. Reduced blood circulation, often resulting from inactivity, is a prevalent factor contributing to back pain. It can cause an increase in weight, which puts stress on your back, leading to back pain. Strengthen your core. Core strengthening exercises are the most effective ways to prevent back pain. Ensuring that your core muscles around your spine, hips, and abdomen are strong is essential to keep your back healthy in the long run. Increase your calcium and vitamin intake. Maintaining strong and healthy backbones is supported by the essential nutrient calcium. Over time, lesser calcium intake can cause bone deterioration, leading to the weakening of your back. Vitamin D has a similar effect and is crucial in keeping your spine healthy. Practice good sitting posture. It has become increasingly common to bend our necks downwards to look at our phone. This can be detrimental to our backs. In this process, we are bending our spine forward, and this can have serious negative repercussions for the future. To avoid this, ensure you use your phone at your eye level. Get adequate back support while sitting and keep your knees to roughly a 90-degree angle from the floor. In general, avoid using your phone while sitting for long periods. Choose furniture that supports good sitting posture. Your furniture impacts your spinal health way more than it may initially seem. If your furniture makes you feel uncomfortable, it might be time to replace it. Other than that, sofas that are soft can bend your spine, leading to distress. Stretch regularly. The way stretches work is simple. When you sit or stand the whole day or spend it without much activity, your blood circulation is reduced and your muscles feel stressed. Stretching releases a lot of pressure and tension from stiff muscles or joints and allows for better circulation, which helps your body relax and feel refreshed. Take frequent breaks. Taking breaks has an impact not just on your mental health but also on your psychological well-being. These breaks can be spaced out at regular intervals. Practice mindful breathing. Breathing is beneficial in loosening stiff muscles and helping your body feel relaxed. Importantly, mindful breathing, in particular, has been shown to reduce stress in general and increase calmness. Back pain is often related to stress as it causes your breathing pattern to shift and increase tension in your back. Pay attention to how you lift. As part of your daily routine or during exercise sessions, engaging in lifting techniques is a prevalent trigger for back pain. Avoid lifting heavier than your body can handle to prevent back pain. Secondly, ensure that your form is proper while lifting heavier objects. Ensure an even weight distribution across both shoulders when carrying objects to maintain balance and prevent strain. Get a good night's sleep. A good night's sleep is just about getting the right amount of sleep and sleeping correctly in the correct position. If you typically sleep on your back, consider placing a pillow under your leg, elevate it slightly. Exercise sessions, engaging in lifting techniques is a prevalent trigger for back pain. Avoid lifting heavier than your body can handle to prevent back pain. Secondly, ensure that your form is proper while lifting heavier objects. Ensure an even weight distribution across both shoulders when carrying objects to maintain balance and prevent strain. Get a good night's sleep. A good night's sleep is just about getting the right amount of sleep and sleeping correctly in the correct and even weight distribution across both shoulders when carrying objects to maintain balance and prevent strain. Get a good night's sleep. A good night's sleep is just about getting the right amount of sleep and sleeping correctly in the correct position. If you typically sleep on your back, consider placing a pillow under your legs to elevate it slightly and alleviate pressure on your back. When sleeping on your stomach, attempt to provide support by using pillows strategically. Ideally, you could sleep on the side if you're prone to back pain.
All right, welcome back to Watch Your Women's Planet. Well, that is an amazing tip for a Monday, a good way to start. Avoid back pains. When you sit for a while, you stand up, take a walk, relax, and mind the kind of bed you sleep on or how you sit. Your sitting posture is very important. Anyways, we have a guest in the house, and her name is Patricia Adekoya. She is a dynamic entrepreneur, a brand strategist, a creative leader who wears many hats with passion and purpose. She's the founder and creative director of Beads by Tricia. When you see her, you see the beads. Well, Beads by Tricia is a luxury handmade jewelry brand that has redefined beaded accessories in Nigeria. And of course, over the last 5 years, Patricia has successfully built her business into a premium go-to brand for bespoke jewelry, serving clients in Nigeria and across the globe who values authenticity, creativity, and timeless design. Well, beyond entrepreneurship, Patricia is a result-driven brand strategist with expertise in marketing communication strategy, personal branding, content creation, and social media strategy. Well, she has gone both local and global, as such as I don't want to start mentioning brands, but she has worked a full lot with a lot of brands. Now, being a multi-potentialite, she has worked across diverse projects spanning from entrepreneurship, media leadership, and social innovation. Well, lastly, with a unique blend of entrepreneurial grit, creative vision, and strategic insights, Patricia is also committed to becoming a part of the next generation of leaders who would build brands that stand out, create influence, and drive transformation. And here we are, Bead by Tricia, Patricia Adekoya. Good morning, how you doing?
Good morning. Good
You look
morning.
pretty. I'm telling you guys, you are not having to prove you, but you earrings, beads,
Her
hair,
shoes.
beads, her shoes. Have the beads, maybe I'll change the one and put beads too. It's good to have you. You look
Thank
fabulous.
you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining in.
Thank
So,
you.
well, I'm going to start first with the aspect of you trying to bead everything, because I feel like you probably even have a bead dress. I don't know. I feel like you do. So what was the drive for you to want to see that we could actually put these things into everything and make it fashionable? How did you come about that?
Okay, so let me just start with the joke you cracked.
Okay.
I'm going to leave the dress for the fashion designers,
Okay.
okay? I won't focus on accessories.
All right. Great.
Okay, so I mean, you're really spot on because Beads by Tricia came about, discovering that there is so much I can do with beads.
Mhm.
So it had started off from my junior secondary school, I think GS1, during our creative arts class. And then we were doing practicals with bead making, and I was like, oh, you could do bags, you could do flower vases, you could do a lot of stuff, you could do jewelry with beads. And, you know, it just fascinated me, and I just developed that interest to learn how to make beads. So moving on to, before entering like university, I decided to pursue learning how to make beads, you know, and so that was how it literally started.
So you just started, and before you know, you were all up in it. So how will I put it? What's the motivation to want to create something with bead? What always gives you the motivation, or what's the drive for you?
Okay, I would say my greatest drive is God, actually.
Okay.
I could see something, I could see your earrings, they are not beaded, and I could think of using beads to actually make the same design. Okay, so just looking at things, I'd like to say that I'm a very creative person. So whether I'm doing brand strategy, or I'm doing beading, or I'm doing content, whatever it is, I try to infuse creativity in it. Thanks to God, to be honest. I don't think anything comes on my own strength. Yeah, so I could say this, and I'm like, I'm going to make a beaded flower like this, you know, with the same, and just add my touch, basically. But it just gives me an opportunity to create, to be honest. And yeah.
Well, how do you convince clients that they need beading? Take, for example, I'm not really like a fan of beads. Like, I've seen people give to me very good beads, like very good pearls, and I end up giving it out, and it's more like as though I do not value. So let me put you on the spot. Convince me why I can wear beads.
Okay, so I think that is the perception that, and it's one thing that I'm trying to also do with my business. Now, there is a perception that beads are archaic, you know, they are outdated, you know. You see some designs and then you are like, this is not going to fit into the contemporary lifestyle. So I think what I'm trying to do, and I think what the industry players are trying to do as well, you know, is to try to infuse modernity, you know, into the creation. Thank you. Okay, so like I said, I think what works now is trying to blend in what is modern, so the usual jewelry that they are used to, try to infuse beads into it, basically. And I also think that bead making is actually coming back bigger. It's at a point I felt like it was going to go extinct, but I've seen how people are now embracing their culture now, even beyond beads. People, even the younger generation, are also becoming cultural. Let me put it that way. So look at the trends of ashoke that we thought, you know, went with exactly, it's coming back. You know, some styles, some dresses are all coming back. So it's just the trend of things, to be honest. People will embrace what you know is appealing to them. I believe that even when you see something like this, it's beaded, but it also looks like what you are wearing.
It's attractive to me.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just trying to infuse what is trendy as well with, you know, beads.
Okay, so what's your inspiration behind Beads by Tricia? Because you said something about way back in school making all of this, and honestly, when I was in school too, we had to like do a practical with beads, and I tried to pick up interest in doing the beading stuff, but it was really stressful. So what's that drive? What inspired you to start the brand Beads by Tricia?
Okay, so when I started beading, I just wanted to bead, to be honest. I just like to try my hands. I'm the person that would go to the sockets and try to like open it up, close it back. Like I can be very hands-on, to be honest. So I am like, okay, this is really, I just like to create. It's just me. I just like to create a lot of things. So I get that it can be very stressful. Beading can be very stressful. Sometimes, to be honest, I try to avoid the kind of beads that are very tiny. That's why I said that I'm leaving the dresses to the fashion designers, you understand? Okay, so, but I just think that I am a kind of person that, would I say, I'm very driven and tenacious. So if something is my passion, it's hard for me to let it go. Okay, so I always just try to find interesting ways to keep up with things. So there are sometimes where I'm just like, I don't feel like beading. But I have a mentor, and the mentor says, every day you have to bead so that you can, you know, be better at what you do. So it's just that mental resilience to say that, okay, let me just create something. Let me do something. I can wake up. I remember I had a wedding in August, and I didn't really like my outfit, and I'm like, God, I need to do something. I did not plan to actually wear a beaded neck piece, but at 4 a.m. I woke up I'm like, I'm going to make a necklace right now, and I did it, and I wait. Nobody knew I made it that same day. So it's just, with constant practice, and trying to, you have to enjoy it.
Yeah.
You just have to enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, that's fine. But you just have to embrace it and enjoy the creative process. There's some things that I create, and then I'm just like, wow, I did this. Just sit. I just sit with some apps, just look through. I'm looking through contemporary jewelry, and I'm just like, what if I add beads to this? What if nobody's going to know at the end of the day. Okay, so it's just finding your interest, finding your passion, finding what drives you at the end of the day and sticking to it.
So how do you carefully select your beads for making designs? And I want to know, our audience will also like to know if there are beads that are fake, because to me I see all beads as the same. So are there some that are more quality than the other? And how do you select these beads for your designs?
So definitely there are beads that are more quality than others. They are plastic beads, they are corals, they are gemstones, they are pearls. Pearls are also like a part of gemstones. Okay, so it depends on your niche, let's put it that way. So there are some people that just make beads for the masses. Okay, so if you go to the open markets, you see people, sell beads, plastic beads, wooden beads, and all that. But for a brand like Beads by Tricia now, I try to focus on premium beads. Okay, beads that would last. That even when I remember, I think one of the things that also inspired me, I forgot to say, is my mom used to wear beads a lot. So I would take some of her beads that she had, let's say 10 years ago, and then I would use it to recreate something. So I'm just saying, compared to if you're not buying real gold, the usual steel jewelry would fade at the end of the day. But with beads, with quality beads, they hardly fade. Corals, I used to say that corals are very undervalued or underrated, let me put it that way, because these things are really pricey now. They are cultural legacies basically that are being passed on from generations to generations. Yes, exactly. So I just try to always ensure to focus on the more quality accessories or the more quality materials that I can find. I'm one that's, I do not like to compromise on quality. Okay, so if I'm trying to be affordable, but still trying to be premium, in between. Okay, I just try to find what works for my audiences, and I know that not everybody is going to be my audience at the end of the day. So if you want quality and you want something that is going to last, you stick with me or you stick with my brand. So I'm really quality driven, even down to anything that I do beyond beads and all that, because I feel like you get value, in those kind of things than having to pay less. And you don't even get to enjoy it at all.
So that brings me to the question, before we go for a break, is a lot of times I believe, like I said, I don't know much about beads, but I've always, because I know that most of the beads that I get to have, they are heavy. Let me use that. I'm trying to be mild, but no, they are heavy. So even you see somebody just make a pearl just like this, is heavy. So I'm like, I was saying, because it's original, is it true that because it's original, it's heavy?
Yes.
And you expect me to wear beads?
Yes, so it depends. So it depends. You could mix them with lighter beads.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
You can mix them. So for example, I know that I don't like wearing heavy earrings. So this pearl in the middle, is quite heavy. If I had used everything around, it would be very heavy for me. So I used this steel droppings just to make it light. Okay. So it's just finding what works for you, and trying to blend in.
So how do you identify quality beads? For instance, you said the good beads, like you said, are heavy. So aside from the weight, how are you going to be able to identify quality beads? Okay,
so there is texture. There are sometimes when I go to get materials, I place two same beads together, and I'm telling my supplier that you can see that this thing, give me the original one. Do you understand? So it's through constant use of a particular so you see inspirations, you see global inspirations as well, because beads are actually being worn globally beyond Nigeria. So you look through, you take note of key details. Are there particles in this, are there no particles in this, and you ask questions too, to be honest, because you don't know all the beads, I don't know all the beads, and people that you buy from always want to sell to you. So, but you just have to ask questions, ask the right questions, see what premium brands, that you follow are also trying to do, and take notes. So when you go to buy materials, or you go to stock up on materials, you try to take notes of different things. And into that, sometimes when I even want to buy some beads, a particular same bead, one is peeling, the other one is looking really good and really clean. And then it's usually like a back and forth between my supplier and I. And I'm like, really I would not compromise, because it's going to be bad on my brand when I'm getting a call, oh, the beads you gave me peeled.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just know these things when you see them. You can identify a fake bead from, even down to corals. You know that they are plastic corals. They are stick corals, candle wax corals, they are ceramics, they are the original corals, they are Italian corals. A lot, basically.
Is very heavy. I wonder how people wear those things, to be honest. Because I will see a lot of people wear beads like on their neck, on their wrist. I don't like beads, but somehow when I see it peeling or losing color, I lose interest, and I'll be like, okay, is this for...
I also think that it's because a lot of Nigerians like to compromise on quality, and there are some vendors that they just want to sell.
True.
So if you're telling me that, I tell people beads are actually very expensive. If you want to get good beads, you have to pay for it, because they would last. They would actually last. You can recreate whatever it is you want to and save money at the end of the day. But because a lot of Nigerians, even down to other products, other brands, so we see that they are fakes of different products as well, because Nigerians are buying.
Of course.
Because Nigerians will just use it. It's cheaper, basically, and looking at the state of the economy and all that. So
I've even seen a situation whereby, because I have a line of people who do beads. So yes, so there was a time somebody wanted to place an order of a pearl, like round, just that one line, single line. So when I asked the person who wanted to make, the person was about 40 to 50K, and when I told the person, I was like, it's too expensive. I'm like, that's 10K.
Thank you.
Yeah, 5K.
I'm like, I'm sorry, this person will not do it for you, because she will not come down to that. So it's maybe you go to the market and get those ones of those prices.
You know what's even funny is when people buy fake beads, they now bring, maybe something happens to it, and they now bring it to me to repair.
No way.
How do you get that fixed?
Do you do repair?
No, because I'm like, what do you want me to do to it? If it's not like, okay, maybe it's cut, okay, can you fix it back? I'm not touching the beads, but like the main beads, it's gone.
It's gone. There's nothing to do. Anyways, let's quickly go for a short break, and of course, when we'll come back, we'll be diving into being a brand strategist, and of course, being a marketing communicator. We need to understand that part. So we'll be right back after the short break and another tip. Stay with us.
Tips on how to communicate. Here are some practical tips on how to communicate effectively in your settings, personal, academic, or professional. 1. Be clear and concise. Use simple words and short sentences. Avoid unnecessary jargon unless your audience understands it. Stick to the main point. 2. Listen attentively. Pay attention when others are speaking. Don't interrupt. Wait for them to finish. Show interest by nodding or giving short response like, I see and that's true. 3. Use the right tone. Your voice should match your message. Serious, friendly, or formal. Avoid being too harsh or too soft. Smile when appropriate. It makes you sound warmer. 4. Watch your body language. Maintain good eye contact, but don't stare. Use hand gestures naturally. Sit or stand with confidence, not clenched. 5. Adapt to your audience. Speak formally in professional settings, casually with friends. Adjust vocabulary depending on who you're speaking to, but respectful of culture and social differences. 6. Ask questions and give feedback. Clarify if you don't understand, like, do you mean? Encourage others to share the thought. Respond thoughtfully, not just with a yes or no. 7. Manage emotions. Stay calm even in disagreement. Don't raise your voice unnecessarily. Take a pause if you feel too angry or upset. 8. Practice empathy. Try to understand the other people's feeling. Use phrases like, I understand how you feel, to show care. Respect different opinion. Communicate is not just about talking, it's about understanding.
All right, a beautiful welcome. You're still watching Women's Channel. Well, we still have our brand strategist and of course our marketing communicator, and we have Beat by Tricia. So I wish I could even do a little more of introduction, but let's leave it at that. We're done with the beats part. So let's talk about the brand strategist and the marketing communication. Now, first, a lot of people still find, especially the brand strategists, people still even understand, like, okay, strategizing for,
For brands.
Right? But a lot of people do not even understand how brand strategy also has a mix with marketing communication, because you have the two works hand in hand. So now, for someone who has a business and needs to understand these two parts so that their business can thrive, how would you put it in simple terms to them?
Okay, so I mean, the word brand strategy is, let's look at it from an holistic point of view. Brand strategy. So you are dealing with everything concerning the brand, from marketing to the branding itself to visual identity and all that. But marketing communications is a part or a stem, from the full brand strategy. So it's marketing communications literally just focuses on your communication messaging. How do you communicate? What do you say? How should you say it? What should you visualize? Basically, communication materials, developing communications, strategy. There's still strategy in that, to be honest. I mean, but if you're looking at brand strategy as a whole, you're talking about from developing, positioning your brand, developing your product fit or your market fit, developing your brand visuals, I mean, it's a whole lot at the end of the day.
Okay, so now that brings me to the question of, for someone who has a business, and in fact, let's use this slogan where people always say this thing that customers are always right. A lot of people have issues with that, right? Because they'll be like, even when the customer is being rude, and you're saying the customer is right. Now, for someone who has business, you get to meet different kind of clients with different behavioral patterns. Now, how do you think you can protect yourself mentally and still do customers that are always right? You still always put that slogan to front.
Okay, so I even think that is more of like customer service experience. But just to answer as well, customers are very key.
Very important.
Not even just making sales, in developing any brand, for your brand to live up to wherever you want it to live. Customers are very key, no matter whether they are rude, whether they are not rude and all that. But for brand strategy, I think that the focus is more on understanding the behavior of people. So even if a customer is furious, a customer is peaceful with you and all that, I mean, at the end of the day, your goal is to sell. So understanding what annoys the clients can help you or can impact your sale. Understanding what appeals to the clients would also impact your sale. So for brand strategy or communication strategy as well, it's more of understanding what appeals to the customer, or to in marketing world we say the target audience. Okay, understanding who your brand is for, understanding what appeals to them, understanding what are the attention points, them just use the speak, so your attentions are literally like the problems, the things that stands as barrier between the goal you want to achieve as a brand and between your customer, helping achieve that goal. So probably like you want to achieve sales, you want to drive awareness, the barrier between your customer actually relating to your brand, basically. So understanding the attention point. So a client that is definitely like maybe angry at something or maybe rude and all that, I mean, every brand, every business owner should understand that you really can't beat that statement that customer is always, I won't say they are always right, to be honest. I won't say they are always right. I would say that they are king.
Okay.
Yeah, and the difference is that if you think that they are always right, it means that you always have to play to their tune. But if you treat them as king, you want to do what is best for them. So you want to do what they would, even though at the beginning they don't think that is the best thing for them, but the way you put it, it would now look like you are in their interest. I was just thinking when I was coming, I was saying that people, customers, your target audiences really do not want to care how much you know or what you have, until they know how much you care about them. And caring about them is not even just saying, oh, sorry, or just opening a charity organization or acting like you care tangibly like that. But understanding or showing, or it's about showing that you understand them. So if a client is angry at something, so you need to show that, ma, I really understand. I mean, let me just give you a practical example. So some clients come to my DM and like, oh, I want to get this particular set, for something price, and they're like, oh, why is it not this price? I'm like, oh, I understand you, ma. I understand the state of the economy. So you have to put yourself in their shoes, that you really understand what they are going through. So even if a client or a customer comes to say that, oh, the product they used was bad and all that, you don't need to be all defensive. You have to act like, ma, it's something we've noticed, or maybe something we've noticed and we are working towards. So you might need to bear with us. So I won't say customers are always right, but you just have to treat them as king.
Okay, so I have a question. Right now, we have so many people that don't know the importance or the aspect of business. To them, it's all about investing and getting profit. They don't know that business has so more to do, like how to grow your business, how to boost your brand and all of that. So while you want to advise people that are just starting up businesses, how can they be their own brand strategists and learning how to communicate, market their products? How do they do all of that? How can you advise them? Okay,
so thank you. I think that's a very great question. Now, a lot of people think that when it comes to business, it's just about, oh, I have a business. I think that it's more to focus on having a brand than having just a business. Now, if you are having a business, everything you're focusing on is sales. And I know that, the goal of every brand or every business is to make profits and all that. But you can't beat what branding does to a business in the long run. Now, when people hear brands or when people hear branding, they think of maybe just naming your product or coming up with a logo. It's not just that. At the end of the day, it's a sum total of what people feel when they come in contact with your brand or with your business, and that's branding. It's an experience. So from the product to the services to the logos to the way you treat them to your communications to the experiences that you create for them. It's, in advertising and marketing comms, you say it's like integrated marketing communication. So it's holistic. The entire communication flow is really holistic. So it's about a lot of things. So brands need to understand that you need to really connect to people. You need to, in your experiences, and you really cannot do this if you don't understand key things. If you don't understand what you want to do as a brand or as a business, you need to, and you can't really know where to fit in if you don't really do like your research, understand your market, if you don't understand, the competitors, the players. You need to know what other brands are doing. Just talking about brands and how they make people feel. So when I think of brands, like, is it okay to call brands? Okay.
You don't want to give free advice.
Yeah, exactly. So when I think of particular brands, I'm thinking of maybe a communication they did or an advert they did. Or I'm thinking of a taste, or I'm thinking of a sound, or I'm thinking of a song. All of this makes up branding. That just makes remembering the brand easy. Okay? So people need to understand that. You need to understand where you fit in the market. You need to understand what your competitors are doing. What can you do differently that will make you stand out? A good brand strives to stand out. You cannot be doing, so for people who are into businesses, I know that with the digital age, people are jumping on trends, they are jumping on content trends, they are jumping on different styles of communication, different styles of holding your mic, and a lot of things and all that. There's a lot of copy and pastes in this age. And if you are not careful, just because you want to be trendy or you want to stay on trend, you start to say that you are doing the same thing your competitor is doing, and there's no point of differentiation. In marketing, there is what we call your unique selling proposition or your value proposition. Is what distinguishes you as a brand. So you need to understand, this is who I am as a brand. Also in branding, there's what we call brand archetypes. So I will just relate it to the human form. So it's basically personality. So understand that the way she's going to behave is not the way you're going to behave. So in branding, there are about 12 archetypes. So there are people who are creatives, there are people who are rulers, there are people who are sage, there are people who are jester brands, who just like to create skits and make people laugh. You know, I mean, there are a lot of them that I know that they are very comical in their communication and they are selling.
Yeah.
So it's just basically finding where you want to position as a brand.
Yeah.
But you need to understand what other brands are doing first, so you know how to differentiate. You also need to understand what the key problems are that are not being addressed within the market. And you can't do that without understanding your customers. You can't do that without understanding your target audiences, doing research, speaking to people, just having conversations with people, even down to creation of bids. Trust me, I've just been speaking to people and I'm looking at the person. And I'm just saying, I'm going to do this for this person. Just speaking to the person, you really understand what appeals to them, what drives them, and all that. So it's not just beyond, oh, I'm going to open an Instagram page today, and, you know, I'm going to make posts and all that. You need to have a personality that when people see your brand, when they come to your page, they can feel something. If it's that you want to be a premium brand, stick to it. You know, stick to what drives you. Authenticity sells, trust me. It sells greatly. You know, when people see that you are genuine and you can relate to them, no matter whether you are niched or you are premium or you are mass market, it appeals. You will find people that it will appeal to at the end of the day.
Okay, so
before that, wait, I know you have a video. Let's quickly go for a short break. Let's just take a chill pill a little bit. Let's go for a short break, and the last tip for the day that will come back to the studio, of course, to hear Grant's question and her response. So we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Beauty tips. When it comes to fashion and beauty, we all aspire to create a stylish and captivating appearance. However, it's essential to be aware of the common pitfalls that can inadvertently diminish our style. 1. Do not follow the trend. Don't always follow a trend, make it your own and make sure to wear what is actually comfortable and right for your body type. You'll feel less self-conscious and sexier. Deliberately clashing is better than coordinating and being boring. Style is about having no fear of standing out and not blending in. While it might be safer to blend in the real world, it's all about being original. Be careful with your brows. Invest time in learning how to shape and maintain them. Perfecting your brows for your face and eye shape takes a lot of trial and error. It takes a while for overplucked eyebrows to grow back. Start early and groom them. Your early 20s self will thank you later. 3. Take care of your jeans. It's such a shame to see your favorite jeans that hug you in all your favorite sports wears down from age, so turn your jeans inside out in the wash so they don't wear down as much. This will make your jeans last longer and the color won't fade as fast. Hang your jeggings so that the dryer doesn't make them stretch out in weird places. 4. Let your nails breathe. Just like any other part of your body, you have to let your nails breathe. Constantly having polish or nails on your nails will make them brittle and fragile. Let your nails rest without nail polish for a few days. There are plenty of ways to rock naked nails. Side note, make sure to give your cuticles some loving just by dabbing castor oil on your cuticles. 5. Take care of your skin. Invest in a quality skincare line to combat acne. It may not seem like a big deal when you're 17, young and flawless, but it won't last forever. Eventually, hormones and stress will get to you, so make sure to moisturize, even though you may not think you need it. 6. Always wash off your makeup. Remember to wash morning and night, and never leave your makeup on overnight. Having clean skin for bedtime is crucial so your pores don't get clogged and you don't wake up to surprise acne. 7. Don't forget sunscreen. Always wear sunscreen. You may like the warm skin, but later down the road, it causes sunspot, wrinkles, and discoloration. Not to mention, sunscreen also helps in preventing cancer. 8. Invest in clothing you really love. Start transforming your wardrobe. Don't just buy clothes because they're trending. Most likely the trend will be over before you get a chance to rock the dress. Buy something that you can see yourself wearing years later. Thank you.
Alright, welcome back to watching Women's Corner, and of course we still have this by Tricia, and that is the tip for beauty. Well, gratitude, over to you. What's your question?
I have a question. I've been itching to ask this question. So now talking about target audience, yeah. So we really can't downplay how important it is to understand our target audience as business owners, because if you don't understand your target audience, you won't make sales, and that's what you want. So how do we identify our target audience for different businesses, like in general? You know, we have different target audiences for our personal brands. So for what's the general, how would I put it now? What's the general identification or ways to identify your target audience for your brand?
Okay, thank you. So I won't say that there is a general way to identify your target audience, but just some few tips basically. So, and it starts from even trying to create a product or trying to launch a business. I mean, it's simple to know that if I'm if I want to sell accessories, you know, look into the market, know what's there is the opportunity for. Okay. So do I want to address a gap for men? So I'm selling only male accessories, or I'm selling only female accessories, or I'm selling both for both genders. Okay, so it's easy that, I mean, your products, you just look at your products and you can tell who your product is for. That's just identifying your target audience. You can tell who your product is for. So but there's a deeper level to that in terms of, okay, there are some brands that this product is probably for everybody. This product, everybody can use it, but they would not communicate to everybody, and it's a thing of positioning. It's basically a thing of positioning. So some brands position as some brands position as mass market. So anybody can buy, anybody would use. There are things that are even given in the sense that they are essentials, they are necessities, they are needed for daily survival and all that. So anybody is expected to want to use it. But even in that same category, in that same sector, there are still brands that they know that other people cannot afford. It's just a thing of positioning. Determine where you want to position your brand. Do I want to go for a mass market, so you know that you are selling at a lower price, but you are getting more customers? You don't want to go for a more premium brand or luxury brand. I know I'm selling at a higher brand. I won't get that mass market, appeal, but I mean, it might be more profitable at the end of the day. So, I mean, after that, it's now the strategies in terms of, reaching them, to communicating to them, that now determines the success, whether it's mass market, whether it's premium, whether it's mainstream, whatever.
Okay. Thank you very much. Well, I think this is where we'll draw the curtain and say, yes, we've come to the end of the program. So I'm just going to say you should tell us your social media handles so people could reach out to you and learn more. Even want to learn being a brand strategist, or you want to know how to build your business, you want to be a better communicator, or be good in marketing. I think a lot of people want to, contact you. So please release your social media handles. Okay, so
for Instagram, you can reach me at Tricia Adekoya. Okay, then on LinkedIn, you can reach me at Patricia Adekoya. For my business page, you can reach me at Beads by Tricia, just as it is.
Oh, great. I love the simplicity in all of it. Well, anyways, I hope you enjoyed the show.
I did. Thank you so much. I did.
Yeah, thank you so much for even explaining, especially the customer aspect, the target audience, and marketing your brand. Yes.
Thank you.
It was beautiful.
It was beautiful. Thank you.
I got a little bit from that.
A whole lot.
Being a strategist, yes. I think I got a little bit from that. But thank you very much for being on the show. And I'm glad you enjoyed the show.
Thank you.
I made it on time, because Lagos was happened to a lot of our guests last week. And this week, I think it's for a change to start. Yes, you came early, so that's good. Anyways, we've come to the end of the program. I hope